days ago, I had the opportunity to go to the Adventuredome indoor theme park at Circus Circus, Las Vegas. This place is highly underrated. I actually grew up in Vegas, so I did go here a lot as a kid, but I haven't been in years, so this was a lot of fun. The whole thing is indoors, so that means AC, which is super nice. And it's 5 acres, so it's pretty big. You have to pay for parking pretty much anywhere you go in Vegas now, but the Circus Circus parking is actually free, so that was amazing. And during certain parts of the day, you can actually walk around Circus Circus and see free circus acts. It's so underrated here, I swear. Entrance to the Adventuredome is free, but you will have to pay for a wristband to get on any of the rides. At the time of recording, a wristband for kids between 33 inches to 48 inches is $30, and anyone taller than that is $60. Or you can pay a little extra to get a fast pass and bypass all the lines. $100 for adults and $50 for kids. We actually got our tickets ahead of time online and then went to the will call location to scan them and get our wristbands. Fun fact, when the Adventuredome first opened, it was actually called the Grand Slam Canyon and was themed like the Grand Canyon. So that's why there's these random little mountain formations in the middle of this indoor theme park. We headed straight for the food court first because we were hungry, and they have these pizza, hot dogs, nachos, classic theme park food. They also had ices, like the real ices, brand ices, and that was amazing. Disneyland could never, okay? Then we took a little walk down to find the Sand Pirate, which is just one of those swinging ship rides. I would have filmed it, but then I would have just been filming people right in front of me, staring into their face, and that's creepy. So I did not, but it was fun. We actually wanted to do the disco first, which is always what I used to do when I was younger. It was my favorite growing up. But we were like, we're adults now and our stomachs are different. So we're going to wait till later, not right after we eat. And I think that was a good idea. And Sand Pirate was like a slightly better decision, but still maybe not highly recommended after you eat. After that, we decided to kind of take just like a little walk around to see what was there. And it's really easy because it's just one big circle. So it's not hard to navigate around the park, which is nice. And this is a newish roller coaster called El Loco. And I had been on it once, and that was like the last time I went, which was years ago. And I remember it being a lot of fun. And this time it was probably my favorite ride. Well, actually, it's my second favorite ride. I'll get to my favorite ride later. During our walk around, we saw a lot of the Midway games, and I was kind of like, I don't really need to play those. Like, I'm here for the rides. I'm a ride girl. But we did end up playing them, and they were a lot of fun. I'll get to that later. So, fun fact, when Adventuredome opened as Grand Slam Canyon, it was actually a dinosaur-themed attraction with interactive, educational dinosaur animatronics, which is super cool. So you can still see little remnants of the dinosaur things, and like I said, the canyon, random mountain formations in the middle of the Adventuredome. So that's why those things are there. So remember when I said El Loco was my second favorite ride? This was a new ride that I had never ridden before. It's called Nebula Z. Oh my gosh. I was like, looking at it, I'm like, it looks cool, but it's probably not that fun, right? Like, you're just kind of spinning in a circle. But the drops, they get you, okay? And you go in different directions. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite. We rode it multiple times. It's a long ride, too. It is 2 minutes in each direction, so like 4 minutes long. Since it's newer and it's really fun, the line is a little bit long, plus they have kind of a slow reload rate because they can only fit 16 guests on at a time, but it was totally worth it. There were a lot of new things that I saw on a walk around. Like, I don't remember these teacups. I also don't remember these swings. So it was cool to see that the Adventuredome is still growing and expanding and adding new things. So even if you haven't been in a while, there's probably something new. So fun fact, when they were adding this mini golf course, they at first were really not wanting to do it because they were like, we have glass windows, but they've actually never had any issues at the time of recording. So it was a good idea. It's cute. It's pirate themed, but you do have to pay extra money to do it. The Adventuredome has a couple of those 4D experiences. They have Angry Birds, they have Ice Age, they have a Scooby-Doo themed one. So we waited in line for what we thought was going to be the Scooby-Doo experience, but it was actually Ice Age. They're in the same theater and we didn't know what it was going to be. So I don't know if it's just kind of like a luck of the draw kind of thing or they alternate or what, but it was still fun. It was not what we expected. The Ice Age one, I think, has been there for a really long time because I feel like I vaguely remember it, but it was still fun. So I love when theme parks do this. Like, while you're waiting in line, you get to see the other rides. And this one, you got to see Canyon Blaster, which is the other roller coaster they have. It's the older one. I remember riding this one growing up a lot. And it's cool. You get to see the double loops that this ride has. And it's just a lot of fun. And it just got me all excited to ride it later. At one point, we found Pennywise lurking in the shadows. That was fun. There are a couple things at the Adventuredome that you can do that aren't included in your wristband that you have to pay a little extra money for, like a rock wall or this bungee jumping trampoline thing. There's also a surprising amount of things for kids to do. Like, there was this merry-go-round, there's a cute little Ferris wheel, and so much more. Now it's time for the slingshot. It's one of those, slingshot rides that bring you up really high and then drop you down. If you're afraid of heights or you don't exactly like these rides, I do think this one is a good one to start because it doesn't go up and down a lot. You go up once and then they hold you up there for a little bit and then you go down once and that's it. This is honestly my favorite area of the park. They have 3 of my favorite rides: the slingshot, the disco, and the inverter. The disco is this one where you are going back and forth and spinning, and it doesn't look like it would be as fun as it is. It's really underrated, to be honest, and it's great. We did that one next. And next we did my absolute favorite, which is the inverter. It spins you around on this arm, I guess you could say, and it'll hold you totally upside down, or it'll spin you around and you go upside down. Sometimes you're right side up. It's a whole thing. It's a whole gamble. And I love it. There is one con though, something that does bother me about this ride, and I get it. I understand that it's totally necessary, but it is a little bit of a nuisance. So you have shoulder restraints, and then you have this green bar that comes down on your legs, and it pushes down so hard, and it's like, ow, I know, I'm probably sounding so annoying, but it's a thing. If you have experienced it before, you know what I'm talking about. Next up are the roller coasters. These are like dead center in the park. They're in the same spots. The lines are like right next to each other. First, we did Canyon Blaster. And like I said, that's the older one. It's the one with a double loop. It's more traditional in the sense of a roller coaster. And I forgot how much this one hurts my head. I left concussed. I'm not even gonna lie. Which is why I love me some El Loco, okay? But the problem is, when we were about to get on it, it broke down. We were like front of the line, so that was a bummer. But we did go play some midway games. I know I said I wasn't going to, but we had a lot of fun. And we got some good tickets and we won some stuff. Stuffed animals in particular. We spent a lot of time here and they had a good variety of games. We had like this bowling skee ball thing. I don't know. There's probably an official name for it. But you aim for these little holes and your guy moves forward and then you win some stuff. I won a little elephant. It was cute. And then later I won a little whale and I loved it. This one, we were supposed to try and get the balls in these little cups, I guess, and I really wanted an octopus, but we could not get it. We absolutely failed. So we went back to the tried and true Scooby-Doo spin wheel game, and we won some tickets that we used later to get yet another stuffed animal. I got a cute little toy Echo microphone and a lollipop too, so I guess you could say I pretty much dominated these midway games. There was another ride that was, I think, closed for refurbishment that I used to love as a kid. It's called Chaos, and it was this big thing. It would spin you around and your seats would spin around. It's hard to explain, and I don't have footage of it, unfortunately, but it was iconic, and I miss it. But we don't need to worry about that because we went right back to my favorite ride of the day, Nebula Z. It was kind of cool riding this one at nighttime because the lights are much brighter and it stands out a little bit more and it just looks cooler, and the ride was awesome. But do you think we ended the night there? Heck no, we definitely went and tried to get back on El Loco, and we did succeed, and it was fantastic. It was a perfect way to end the night. Highly recommend. Well, that was our trip to the Adventuredome. It might not look like much when you hear about it or think about it, but it really is pretty great. It's very underrated. We highly recommend it. And we also highly recommend that you give us a subscribe and a like and a comment because we can give you more content just like this, all about theme parks.